Excuse me while I wipe the drool off my face.
Right. Drool. An enthusiastic start. Are we discussing lunch again, or have you been reading ahead?
Reading. This Enchantra thing by Kaylie Smith. People are losing their minds. Or maybe just their ovaries, according to one particularly vivid account I stumbled across. Said they were gone after this book. Poof. Ovarian dust.
Ah, yes. Enchantra. Kaylie Smith. It appears to be the second installment in a series called Wicked Games, though many readers suggest it functions adequately on its own. The premise involves a Genevieve Grimm, sister of the protagonist from the first book, apparently.
Oh, a nepotism baby in the fantasy world. Go on.
Who travels to a cursed Italian estate, Enchantra, after intercepting an invitation. She then becomes trapped in a deadly annual game of hide and seek run by a devil and played by immortal wraith siblings, the Silvers.
A devil running hide and seek. Is it like Cosmic Peekaboo? Does he count to infinity? And wraith siblings? Sounds like my family reunion, only with slightly more transparency, and probably better snacks.
The objective, according to reader accounts, is survival. Genevieve, being the sole mortal participant, enters a marriage of convenience with one of the siblings, a Rowin Silver, described frequently as grumpy and possessing shadow-wielding abilities.
A grumpy shadow wielder. My favorite kind. Does he make shadow puppets? Moody, existential shadow puppets. Here is a bunny. It contemplates the void. And a marriage of convenience. Nothing says, I love you like let's not get murdered by your spectral siblings today.
It seems the book is generally characterized as a dark, spooky, sexy fantasy romance. Gothic Italian mansion setting. Fast-paced, high stakes involving life, death, and potential damnation.
Damnation. See? Much higher stakes than your average Tuesday, unless you forget to pay your parking meter. That's a kind of damnation. Anyway, people seem torn on this one compared to the first book, Phantasma.
Indeed. There's significant division noted. Some readers strongly preferred Enchantra. One stated, quite directly, I don't know if it's the unpopular opinion or not, but I liked this even more than Phantasma. Another felt Genevieve and Rowin blow it out of the water.
Blew it out of the water, like a literary torpedo. Take that, Phantasma. But wait, don't tell me others disagreed. Shocking.
Precisely. Others felt Phantasma was superior. Comments included, I do think I liked Phantasma just a bit more, and this wasn't bad. But it was nowhere near as gripping as Phantasma. The deadly games themselves were another point of contention.
Ah, the hide and seek. Was it thrilling? Were people hiding behind priceless, cursed antiques? Or just, crouching awkwardly in a pantry hoping a wraith wouldn't check for spectral snacks?
Opinions varied. Some found the games unique and kinda twisted. Others described the hunt as pretty lackluster and boring, feeling it was very low stakes. One reader lamented, nothing really happened.
Low stakes hide, and seek with immortal wraiths and a devil. That sounds like a contradiction wrapped in an enigma, sprinkled with existential dread. Maybe the stakes were so high they looped back around to being boring. Like watching paint dry. But the paint is made of souls.
An interesting theory. The protagonist, Genevieve, also elicited strong, opposing reactions.
Let me guess. People either thought she was the second coming of sassy brilliance, or wanted to lock her in that spectral pantry themselves.
Essentially, many adored her. Descriptions include the perfect female main character, fierce, funny, and took no shit. praised for her confidence, wit, relatability, her anti-damsel nature.
Anti-damsel. Love it. She probably saves herself, ties up the bad guy with his own spectral entrails, and still has time for a witty retort and a perfect manicure. Go, Genevieve.
Conversely, a notable number of readers found her, and I quote, maybe one of the most annoying female main characters I've ever read, completely insufferable, childish, making stupid choices and needing constant saving. One called her a whiny little bitch.
Oof. Whiny and needing constant saving. So, she's like a malfunctioning smoke detector that also keeps locking itself out of the house. That's a challenging combination. How can she be both fierce and needing constant rescue? Is she fiercely tripping over things? Fiercely forgetting where she parked her spectral horse?
The contradictions are certainly present in the reader feedback. However, her counterpart, Rowin Silver, seems almost universally praised.
Ah, Rowin. The grumpy shadow daddy. Let the drooling recommence. What did they love? His brooding silence. His collection of black t-shirts. His... Oh, wait. The piercings. They mentioned piercings, didn't they?
They did, frequently. Described as a shadow daddy, morally grey, broody, hot as heck emo. Specific mentions include tattoos, a lip ring, and other piercings, plural, including, apparently, that one.
That one? The implications. The commitment. One reviewer just couldn't stop thinking about where this man has piercings. Another mentioned a pierced, well, you know, and a shadow appendage. What even is that? Is it like extra? Does it wave? Does it help find lost keys? The mind reels.
The reader reactions were intense. Rowin, the fictional man you are, and a broody male main character with piercings, yes, plural, banter and tattoos. Count me in. His protectiveness was also noted. The touch her and die sentiment.
Touch her and die, classic. This segment, on Rowin's accoutrements, is brought to you by Schrodinger's piercing. You don't know if it's hot or horrifying until you read the book. Anyway, people loved the banter between him and Genevieve, right? Even if she was, according to some, a walking hazard.
Yes, the banter and chemistry were consistently praised aspects. Top tier, fantastic, palpable tension, I was truly sweating. One reviewer declared the banter fan-fucking-tastic.
Fan-fucking-tastic. My new favorite adjective. Probably involved Genevieve saying something sassy and Rowin just brooding harder. Shadows swirling menacingly, but also somehow attractively. Like a sexy thundercloud.
The pace was also widely commended. Fast-paced, addictive, unput-downable. Readers reported they devoured it, ate this up faster than a McFlurry from McDonald's.
Faster than a McFlurry. High praise indeed. Those things disappear like hope on a Monday morning. And what about the murderous in-laws? The Silver siblings. Were they just background wraiths? Or did they have personality? Besides, you know, being spectral and potentially lethal.
The dynamic among the Silver siblings was often highlighted as interesting, fun, chaotic. A found family aspect, albeit, as one reviewer put it, peak dysfunction. Another described it as found family, but make it murderous. Specific desire for other siblings' books, especially someone named Seven, was noted, often accompanied by intense interest.
Seven, getting the thirsty comments and... Is he the fun one? The one who organizes the deadly game nights with themed cocktails? Tonight's drink? The spectral scream? And murderous found family? Bonding through murder, love that for them. It's like the Addams Family meets the Hunger Games. but with more existential angst and maybe better Italian scenery.
The comparisons were varied. Ready or Not was frequently mentioned. The Hunger Games, Caraval, Addams Family, Beetlejuice. Rowin was described as Asriel-coded. One reader imagined him listening to Arctic Monkeys and being popular online.
Online? Of course. Broody shadow daddies thrive there. It's their natural habitat, alongside gloomy forests and libraries with forbidden sections. But it wasn't all brooding and banter, was it? People had strong reactions to the plot, especially the ending.
Correct. The ending sequence, involving the final game, a major twist, and the romantic resolution, generated significant commentary. Phrases used include jaw dropped and air was gasped, screamed at the twist at the end, shocked me, wrecked me, devastated me, and then put me back together again. Some reported crying multiple times.
Wrecked and devastated, then healed. It's like literary whiplash. Imagine you're reading along thinking okay, deadly hide, and seek, grumpy shadow guy. Annoying but maybe plucky heroine, and then bem. Emotional devastation. Like finding out your favorite coffee shop closed down. Then bem. It reopens under new management with better pastries. The roller coaster.
There were also mentions of specific scenes causing reactions. The cameos of characters from the first book apparently caused squealing. "Oh, I squealed," one reader wrote, and general intensity inhaled it, altered my brain chemistry.
Altered brain chemistry. This book isn't just a read. It's a neurological event, although some reviewers seemed immune. One particularly scathing comment suggested the author created two characters with so little chemistry. I would get more enjoyment from stepping on a puddle of water with my socks on than read another line about them.
Yes, the contradictions persisted throughout the feedback. Chemistry lauded as palpable, then dismissed as non-existent. Genevieve as phenomenal, then insufferable. The games fun and interesting, then lackluster and boring. It presents a challenge for potential readers seeking a clear consensus.
A challenge. It's a glorious mess. It's like asking for directions and getting handed a map drawn by a squirrel on espresso. Which brings us to the listeners. Okay. Folks, reviewers are split down the middle like a badly cut cake. Genevieve, relatable firecracker trying to find her light. Or annoying brat making terrible choices in a cursed mansion. What do you think? Can you be both? Let us know. I think she sounds like peak chaotic energy. Probably blames Mercury. Retrograde for getting trapped in the death game.
There were also more serious points raised in the feedback. Warnings regarding content.
Yes, the spicy bits and the scary bits. Lay it on us. How spicy are we talking? Ghost pepper level? Or more like a mild spectral salsa?
Reviewers frequently mention spice, explicit sexual content, rating it around 3-4 out of 5. The aforementioned piercings and shadow powers used sexually were noted. A quote cited, "I need to feel you worship me. I will make it your shrine."
Making it his shrine. My goodness. That's devotional. And potentially requires some unusual cleaning products. What about the violence? Was it just cartoonish wraith on wraith action?
Mentions of death, blood, light gore, murder. Some felt it was less gory than the first book. However, there were specific trigger warnings compiled from reviews: drugs, heavy alcohol use, self-harm, emotional and physical abuse. And one detailed review flagged a specific scene in Chapter 19.
Chapter 19. Always the dramatic one. What happened? Did someone cheat at spectral hide and seek?
This reviewer described a brief scene that depicts on page withdrawn consent that is not immediately acknowledged, specifying it did not involve the main love interest, and adding that it is explicitly recognized as assault by the characters.
Right. So, noted potentially very dark themes mixed in with the Shadow Daddy shenanigans and the murderous family game night? Good to know. It's like a fancy cocktail. Looks fun, tastes complex, might knock you flat on your ass if you're not careful.
An apt, if slightly alarming, comparison. So, attempting to summarize, Enchantra appears to be a highly polarizing read, praised for its fast pace, addictive quality. The male lead Rowin, the banter, and the chaotic sibling dynamic. Criticized by others for the female lead, the execution of the games compared to its predecessor, and perceived lack of romantic depth by some. Strong reactions, both positive and negative, seem guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Like death taxes, and someone on the internet having a terrible opinion. So, my final verdict? Using the highly scientific heart, book radio scale derived purely from these passionate outpourings, I give Enchantra 3 out of 5 ovaries obliterated moments, +2 fan, fucking-tastic banter points, -1 sock in a puddle of water chemistry complaint. Carry the 1. That's a solid, murderous McFlurry rating.
Murderous McFlurry, right.
Look, the reviews show this book is either your next obsession or the reason you throw your Kindle across the room. Shadow Daddy, deadly games, annoying or amazing heroine, shocking twists, questionable piercings. Honestly, you probably need to read Enchantra yourself, just to figure out which side of the cursed Italian estate you fall on. Link in the description if you enjoy emotional turbulence and questionable life choices.
Indeed a divisive experience, it seems.
Join us next time on Heart Book Radio. Folks, when my co-host attempts to review a cookbook based solely on pictures of the food, arguing the structural integrity of a lasagna, tells you everything about the author's emotional state.
I will be doing no such thing. This is Heart Book Radio. Good night.
Stay weird, bookworms.